Hey, Lewis.
You again? I thought you'd been thrown out.
Lady Victoria gave me permission to have a look around the castle and the gardens.
How nice of her. What do you want?
What can you tell me about the castle?
Nothing. A big, ugly building.
With an overgrown garden.
What have I got to do with that?
Aren't you the gardener?
My garden's a few hundred miles west of here.
In Wales.
That's right.
So you just do the bare minimum here, if at all.
The garden's too big for one man alone, and what's the point in looking after it? This whole place is doomed. The house is falling apart. The lady won't live for much longer, and Bates is as good as dead.
You're hoping that Lady Eleanor will return to Wales when Lady Victoria dies?
Perhaps.
That's a nice car.
Certainly is. The only decent surprise here. I discovered it behind the stables, built it back up from scratch. My father used to work on a car like this, and he taught me quite a bit.
Do you sometimes take it out for a spin? To the coast, for example?
I drive the ladies. They used to still have bloody horses in the stable, but looking after them was too much effort for the old folks. Now, this is the only pair of wheels. But the ladies don't leave the house much at all. Bates usually walks to the village. He says it's good for his health, but every time it takes a bit longer.
You weren't at the coast with the car this morning?
No.
What can you tell me about Lady Eleanor?
If you want to know something about Lady Eleanor, then you better ask Lady Eleanor. She's her own favourite subject.
You mean she's egotistical?
She threw everything away and fled here in a mad rush after Sir Richard died. Who does such a thing?
The castle and the garden in Wales reminded her of her dead husband.
And she should have thought of the family history. You don't just give up an house where generations have lived and worked.
How did her husband die?
He blew himself up, did all kinds of strange experiments. In the last years, he became obsessed with uncovering the secret of what drove Sir William and his sons insane. He hardly left his lab anymore, and collapsed in exhaustion more than once. Her ladyship was very worried.
Bates seems to be very tired.
He's terminally ill. The doctors say it's a miracle he's still alive. But let me tell you, Bates will kick the bucket on the very same day that Lady Victoria dies. Like a dog that follows its master. I think he just finds it unfitting to die before his mistress.
He says he's worked for the Gordons for more than 70 years and that he knows all their secrets.
I'd believe that at the drop of a hat. No one knows the castle and garden better than him. But when it gets to his own bonds, he's getting forgetful. The loyal soul. That's why they've given him Sally, I think.
I met Sally.
The only one in the castle who's not at least 100 and starting to decay.
Is she a good housekeeper?
She's lousy.
She often seems to be in trouble with Bates because of that.
He's the one that chose her, and turned away much better candidates.
Why did he do that?
Yeah, if you're worried about being replaced.
Then you chose the worst possible replacement to stay indispensable yourself.
That's how it is.
Lewis, do you believe in ghosts? Some tourists claim they've seen some here.
Oh, yeah, the reputed ghost. They besieged us for weeks on end after Murray planted that rumour. A whole pack of them completely trashed the garden.
Lady Eleanor said she gave you the option of going back home to Wales, and even offered some money to get you set up.
I don't know what that's got to do with you.
I just find it strange. You desperately want to go back, and are even offered some money, too.
And then? Work as a caretaker in a new bloody housing estate? I've offered more than once to look after the castle in Wales and keep it in working order. But apparently there's not enough money for that.
So, it's not so much about going back to Wales. It's more about going back to your castle and your garden.
That's right.
What you really want is to turn back time. Unfortunately, that's never been possible. Well, see you later.
Not if I see you first.
Huh. Ralph was talking about a shiny black car. Is this the one he saw? But who drove from the castle to the crime scene this morning? And what were they doing there? The floor here is rain-sodden and very muddy. Who have we got here? Huh. This thieving magpie in a raven suit has something I need. An ancient well. I can't imagine that it's still in use. Even this place must have a normal water supply by now. Apparently, these things are to blame for the English still driving on the left. If you were to guide your horse with your right hand, you'd run the risk of being squashed between the wagons. An old wooden staircase. Probably leads to the stableman's room. I don't want to go up there. Doesn't look very sturdy. An old wooden ladder. It seems to have been used a lot, and the rungs are really worn and smooth. Lewis toolbox. Various wrenches, a cloth, a hammer, pliers, all the things you need. Huh. I think I'll take the big hammer. I could also use it as a weapon if I need to, which might be the case in this place. The gate must have been replaced a short time ago. The wood still looks new. But I don't think there's anything suspicious about that. That's probably the Gordon's family coat of arms. I don't know anything about heraldry. There are complicated rules about creating and reading coats of arms. It probably means something like, "We are a very old family, but unfortunately also quite insane. Please keep your distance." He doesn't like that at all. I gotta be careful. Ravens have got hard beaks that are sharp as knives. They can really make a mess of you. Judging by its condition, the car was probably in use up until a few years ago, but it's been standing there for some time now. Ow! The critter starts pecking at my fingers as soon as I get near the nest. As long as the bird's in the nest, I've got no chance. What's behind the closed door over there?
There was a terrible fire here 24 years ago. Samuel's wife, Catherine, lost her life. That wing has been closed off since then. Too many memories, I think.
Did the fire start on the ground floor?
No, on the first floor. The ground floor was mostly spared, as far as I know. But even the rooms below those destroyed in the fire remain closed. Bates and Victoria make sure that no one goes into them.
I see. Was anyone else injured or killed?
One of the cooks was injured, as far as I know. She wanted to help and was badly burned.
I'm going to have another look around. Goodbye, Lady Eleanor.
It's nice to see another face in this house.
A basket of knitting gear. Wool, scissors, that kind of thing. May I borrow a piece of thread, Lady Eleanor?
Some thread?
Yes, please. About 2 yards?
Certainly. Help yourself.
Thanks. Good. Thread is always useful. I took some of the tear-proof stuff. I've knotted the spoon to the thread. You're not gonna free that in a hurry. Let's try it. Look at this! A shiny spoon! Excellent. Angelina's mosaic piece. A piece of mosaic for a spoon. Good deal for me. Lady Victoria's on the phone. Let's see.
I don't know if it's him. Don't we have a photograph?
Young man. It's not befitting, even for a policeman to eavesdrop behind closed doors.
I didn't mean to. Pardon me. Were they talking about me? But why should Lady Victoria, of all people, cooperate with the Order? She's got more of a reason than anyone else to want to put an end to the curse. There's some letters engraved in the stone plate on the globe's pedestal. There are names. A whole series of them. Wait a minute. The first name is Maximilian Mortimer Gordon. That's the name from Angelina's notes. Does that mean... Huh. I can't hear anything, but the stone slab could be the lid of a secret compartment in the globe's pedestal, and it would be an ideal hiding place for a piece of mosaic. As long as the ladies are sitting in the hall, I can't search for the piece of mosaic undetected. I need to lure them away somehow. An old, original English teapot. My mom used to have a similar one. Huh. I could ring for tea time. That would get the ladies out of the hall, and leave me to have a good go at the stone slab by the globe.
Don't touch! Please excuse me, but this teapot is very old, and Bates has told me many times that I must look after it carefully. He's just popped down to the village to get some tea. We've run out.
There's no more tea? I didn't even think that would be possible in an English castle.
Bates said that the tea had gone bad. He got rid of it.
Huh. Or he needed an excuse to go to the village. A little side table with a tea service on it, but no tea and no teapot. Bibles and religious texts. Some of them look damn valuable. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a handwritten version hidden somewhere here. The Encyclopedia Britannica in at least 3 editions. Will there ever be a bigger reference book? Shakespeare dramas, Shakespeare tragedies, Shakespeare comedies. Poetry by Shakespeare. Stories, adventures, and fairy tales. Dickens, Defoe, Anderson, Jules Verne. These are probably the most modern books in this library. At its peak, the British Empire encompassed around 1/4 of the entire landmass of the planet and around 1/3 of its population. The globe is from this period. The ladies probably approve more of this division of the world than the real one. That's the Gordon's family tree. Almost the same as the one in Wales. that's the Gordon's family tree. An old-fashioned telephone. But who should I call? So much for the nakedness in England. 4 naked girls at once here. And the chap they're all entertaining really seems to be enjoying it. So much for the nakedness in England. An old-fashioned telephone. But who should I call? It's locked. There's probably nothing special inside anyway. An antique vase or carafe. I'll leave that where it is. I can't make out from here whether they're real gas lamps or electric lamps made to look old. Anywhere else, I'd be absolutely certain that there wouldn't be real gas lamps hanging from the ceiling. Not here. I wonder what was going on with that mirror down there in the hall. I really thought I saw Samuel Gordon. I'll probably collapse of exhaustion when this is all over. A pile of towels. Small ones, big ones, nothing but towels. Pile of towels. That is so comfortable. A bench in a bathroom. Jeez. Powder, makeup, and so on. Nothing of any use to me. An old-fashioned bathtub. Doesn't look uncomfortable, but it would be too small for me. What an effort it must take to keep this old tiled floor so clean. I can imagine Bates checking twice a day to see if any dirt accumulates in the nooks and crannies in the meantime. Curtains in the bathroom. Oh well, to each their own. The floor is more than clean. No grounds for complaint. Looks as if the ivy has killed the tree and is now attacking the house. Quite convenient for a burglar, but as long as I'm allowed to roam freely, I'm not going to start climbing around on the facade. The guy who built this castle had weird taste. The view would be great from up there. The tower seems to have windows on every side. Perhaps it used to be a defense tower and was later converted. Maybe it just looked like that from the beginning.